Hello, can anyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Can no one hear me? Let me see if I can hear myself. Come on. There I am live. Let's just see. Hello. Come on. I can hear myself. I am live. It's just okay, I can hear myself. Okay, so here is the newest pen in my collection is an Eversharp. These were called Envoys. I didn't know they were called Envoys until one of you, my clever listeners, was able to tell me that that's what these are called. And they're really quite lovely. They're very sleek, very slender. They're a slip cap pen, which somehow functioned. Looks like it has this upturned end when the light hits it in a certain way. But one of the neat parts about this pen, I don't know if you can see it here, there's that little divot on the lever right there. Right there. It gets slightly thicker. And you're wondering, well, what's up with the Eversharp quality control? How did that get past the inspector number 2? Well, it's there for a reason, because you post the pen on the cap, on the back of the pen, and it goes all the way to that little bump, and then it stops. You can't press it in any further. Which, were you to do that, you might end up pressing it in too far and you end up screwing it up. I'm just realizing I have an issue with my eyeballs. I've got 2 eyeballs in my head. Here's one, and here's the other. Now, get out of the gutter, you people. There's my pupil. Here's my iris. I know I'm I'm not getting it any further out of the gutter. I'm just making it further in the gutter, aren't I? Here are these are eyeballs. They're not boobs. So just deal with it. So one eyeball, my left eye, which if you were looking at me would be this one. This one would see if there was a telephone pole and a line between them stretched tight, it would look like that. This one, my right eye, which is this one, yes, I know it's on the left side of the page, but that's my right eye, sees this. It sees this little bump on a straight line. And if I looked at something that was, let's say I looked at a hilly landscape, I would see something that looks like this, and where the trees are all fucked up, and it works for everything, not just straight lines. Everything gets screwed up. And in addition to that, I see it like this. It's tilted. It's like you look through a pair of binoculars the wrong way. Well, that's what my eyes do. So when I look at this pen using both of my eyes, this is what I see. I see a pen sort of diverging into 2. It's just very screwy. My eyeballs don't work. So I look at things and they all look bent. So when I want to see something more correctly, I close my right eye. And so there's that. Yes, I can have it fixed. And what they do, I'll show you what they do, and you tell me what. You can understand why I don't want them to fix it. Here's my eyeball. Here's my iris and my pupil, and in the back of my eye, looking at from the side view, there's some sort of scar tissue on my retina, which is why this is happening. I don't know how it got there, but it's there. So what they have to do, they have to take their scissors or their knife, and they have to cut into my eyeball, open it up, go in there, and with their little scrapey tool like this, they have to scrape off the scar tissue while I'm fully awake. Yeah, I'll make an appointment right now to have that done. So the doctor said it's not going to get worse, but if you find that you can't function with this problem, you know, if my, why is this happening? It's because I was gesticulating with this pen. And the ink came out of the pen nib and went all over the inside of the cap, which got all over the backside of the pen and all over my hand. So he said, if it's not bothering you, you don't have to have it done. But if you find that it bothers you, then fix it. You know, if I was a tightrope walker, I would have it fixed. If my job was to put needle threads through the eyes of needles, I would have it done. But most of the time, I can function by closing one eye when I don't want to. When I don't remember to do that, I'm always typing things wrong on my phone. I'm always pressing the wrong button. And spell check seems to only want to correct half the words I'm mistyping. The other half go right through. I typed a letter. We have to make sure we get all our ducks in a row. Well, it came out dicks in a row. We have to get all our dicks in a row. That did not go over very well with some of the people that got this bulk mailing. The people that were offended were the women recipients of this. Maybe they had dick envy. They didn't have dicks to get in a row. But the only male that got this email from me thought it was funny. Thought he and I getting our dicks in a row was a good thing. Do we say dick to mean penis? Or is that a Midwestern thing? So anyway, back to this pen. I got on a diatribe. This pen is really, really very interesting. The one that I have on my drawing desk, I have now 4 of these, so I probably can sell one of them. The one I have on my desk has a Schaefer nib in it rather than a Neversharp because it seems to want a nib that is very much like the one that I have in this one, the one this one came in. It seems to make me want to write in a very quiet, calm way. It's there's something about the shape of the pen, the smoothness of the pen, the slickness of the pen that makes me think that the purpose of this pen in my hand is to write calming things. Hello, Maria. Calming things. What would be a calming thing that this pen could write? The breeze is blowing softly through the window, and the draperies are fluttering thus. See? It's not going to write about a thunderstorm or an earthquake. It's going to write about calming things. This point, this nib, is all about a whisper. What do you think, Maria? Its older brother, the skyline, your dream bedroom. This skyline has how different is this nib from this one? The track they make is almost identical. But because the pen is slightly fatter, it doesn't want to be as gentle, in my mind. A lot of this stuff is happening in my own mind. So this might describe my bedroom, not your bedroom. Strewn, dirty socks are everywhere. Where did that half a pizza come from? According to the receipt, it was from 1997. That's what this pen wants to write. Wants to write about my bedroom. This pen is called an Eversharp Envoy. Someone told me it's called an Envoy. This was made in the late 40s, early 50s. I'm going to say that. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing. This came out sort of at that. Pen, is that the pen that Mike Oxlong and Co. was putting out? I don't know who that is. This was made by the Eversharp company. Do I have to type Mike Oxlong and find out who that is? It looks like a very modern pen. It looks like a cross fountain pen from 1970. It has a very modern look to it. Oh, Al Ost Antique. It's interesting though. This pen, is in a history of pens that they made, metal pens, and they made. I'll just show you. I'll give you a little history of this company and all metal pens. I can move my way back here and find an example. You have the Skyline. Oh, no, that's a Schaefer. Look at what you're supposed to look at here. Symphony. There we go. You find a gold fill version of this pen. Swan, Skyline. Okay. Oh, here they are. I'm trying to find one more pen. I'll be back with you. Here we go. Okay. I got the wrong pen. Is it my eyeball that's doing this, or is this? Okay. Almost antique. I don't know. I don't know who. I bought the pen on eBay. I don't know who I bought it from. It could be from that person. No, it's not. Anyway, so the Eversharp Pen Company came up with these pens originally. They were all metal pens and very much 1920s-ish looking. Beautiful pens, beautiful machined look to them. Then they came up with the Skyline, which many of which had a metal casing as well. Very beautiful, but kind of big and fat. Then they came up with this one. This one is not the one I was using. I have 4 of them, as I said. Here are 3 of them. Actually, I might even have 5, come to think of it, because there's one that has the lever missing on it. Maybe this is the one that has the lever. That's not set. Then they came up with this one. Then they came up with this one. This is the Burp pen, which is really kind of dumb compared to the other ones. So it's a long series of history that went into this. And this is sort of hearkening back to the first ones, which were very slim, or could be very slim. The PFM, well, the Sheaffer Legacy and the PFM are certainly pens that you can find today. They're not that rare. They're expensive, but they're not that rare. So you should be able to locate them easily enough. Okay, this one, the lever's working in this one. I know the lever's working on the one on my desk. Is this one? Is the lever? Yeah, this is the one where the lever, a little round retaining ring had been rusted off. So that's the one that I have to fix. So I'm not going to fuss with that right now. We'll just put this back where it belongs. These are what the pencils look like. Very elegant as well. Now, a friend of mine bought one of these, having seen the one that I had. He and I were bidding on it on eBay, and I decided, oh, shit, I just lost the lever for this. God damn it. I better find it right now, otherwise I will be screwed, because I can't just use any lever. Fuck. God damn it. Let me get my flashlight. Flashlight. Hey, you better be down here. Gravity works only in one direction. It only goes down. Okay, I don't want you to blink. You're blinking. Aha, found it. God bless. Just as an aside, on this very floor yesterday, I broke. Okay, no, are you off? Good. I broke a just going to tape this. I broke a quart bottle of Waterman red ink all over my floor, all over my hands, all over my pants. Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I just threw out here. Does this have a, is there already a hole cut in this? No. This can go in here. That way they're together. Put them up here, hopefully to fix. Okay, which was the one that had the ink? This one. These all can go back where they were. Remember, Pierre, to put things back. These pens quite often had threading that didn't work well. Like this one, it falls right out because the threads are stripped. Skyline, skyline. Okay, Maria, are you still with us? Maria. Maria. See, this wants to write your name. Okay, I'm going to forget that this is here, and I'm going to take it out, and the thing is going to fall off. So I'm going to find a piece of tape. See, it's already fallen off. No, it's in here. No, it's fallen off. Bless. Where is it? Is it in the bag? It's right here, in the bag. Why don't I just fix it? Do you think I can just fix it? How's that for an option? I don't have the time. I don't have the brain cell to deal with that right now. So I'm just going to find a piece of tape. It's a piece of white label paper that I will use to keep this sticky label paper. Keep this there. There we go. So here, oh, well, I'll write it more beautiful than that in 1 minute. This is the Sheaffer nib that I put on this pen that's on my desk. And this nib is even thinner than that one. So for example, that's as thin as this one gets. And I realize one is in black ink and one is in sort of gray ink, but you can see that there's a difference. One is thinner than the other. So let's try to make your name look even more beautiful than I was able to do it just now. Try this one. Maria. Okay, let's try even a prettier nib than that. Do I have one here? Or do I have to go to my desk? Beautiful writing has a number of things that will make it beautiful. And one of the things is the degree of line difference between thick and thin. That's one thing. For certain kinds of handwriting, that is the only thing. But you can write a name beautifully using a ballpoint pen where all of the lines are exactly the same. And you make it beautiful probably by the type of curve you make and the flourishes you make in the way you make an A. There's so many different kinds of lettering. There's, Old English, where you, here I'm not using the right pen. I mean, that looks nice to some people. That's again made by thick and thick lines that are made by the shape of the nib, usually. With general script and copper plate lettering, which is what I kind of do, it's made by pressure. If I press down, the nib will splay. So it goes from the thinnest it can be to the fattest it can be and back and forth like this. And that's done by pressure. And depending on when you apply that pressure on a certain kind of area of the stroke of the line, you'll make it pretty or less pretty. Generally, prettiness is determined by the placement of those thick lines and how consistent you are throughout the lettering. I could write your name using a flexible nib pen and press down at all the wrong times, and it would look awful. If I were to do Maria like like that, that's an M. That's not very attractive because these thick lines happen in sort of random places. But if all of the downstrokes are thick and they all happen at the same place, then there's a rhythm that's set up between the lines, and then you have something that is considered beautiful. Generally, many calligraphers love it when they are using a pen that goes from the thinnest thin to the broadest broad. That way you have the full control and range of the line you make. Sometimes, though, if you have a stub nib that isn't flexible at all, you get the thick and thin depending on the direction that the pen is going. And that can be lovely as well. And it can look lovely in script, but it also can maybe look better using a printed alphabet. For me, generally, I like to have fun with a nib that responds to pressure. I'm used to that rather than by direction. But that's just me. If you were to ask another calligrapher who does different kinds of lettering, it's not that. It may not be that. And again, you might have a calligrapher that does beautiful lettering that is not varied at all in terms of line weight, but the beauty that they get has to do with consistency of letter shapes. Every A looks like another A. And the spacing between the A and the next, the A and the R, is the same. And where the letter spacing creates, I mean, this is what every, regardless of what kind of alphabet you're using, the letter spacing is an important factor that everyone should pay attention to make beautiful lettering. But I mean, the easiest way I think to create something that's beautiful is to have, you don't have to have all the letters, all the lowercase o's look identical. I don't think that's necessary. It helps maybe, but we're only human and there's going to be variation. But that's one thing, but the spacing between the letters should be the same. And with Old English lettering, with blackhand or whatever, part of their beauty was that the line, the thickness of the line that you'd make on a downstroke was the same thickness as the area between the lines. So, the vertical lines of a word, all the vertical lines would be evenly spaced, whether there's 2 letters there or 3. Or so MOM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. All of these lines would be equally distributed. It's just that the first 2, 3, and the last 3 would be the M, and the O would be here. But there wouldn't be 1, 2, 3, and then a space, and then 1, 2, and then a space, and then 1, 2, 3. This wasn't considered attractive to the old scribes. They wanted, I believe, they wanted to have the lettering all be equal. Those vertical lines all be equal within a word. So that's important. It isn't important in doing script as much, I don't think. I don't think you have to have the A, do you? I don't think so. I think you can have the A and the N and the O, T, H, E, R. I think maybe I'm making the lines thicker here too. Is that space in between the letters the same space as a lowercase o might be? Maybe it is. Someone has to tell me the answer to this question. I have never taken a calligraphy course, so I don't know the answer to that. Probably is. Shows how much I know. I mean, I know at some point you can't really, if you stretch it out completely, you're going to have a hard time reading it. I think you can make the spaces between the words, the letters be bigger than the spaces within a word. A, N, O, T, H, E, R, another. If I made it A, N, O, T, H, E. If these were all bigger, I think that would be harder to read than this. I think but I don't know. You tell me. I think this is easier to read than that. And looks more beautiful than that. Anyway, Maria, you've got a great first letter of your first name, because an M you can make a bunch of different ways. Script, you can make it like that. You can make it like this. You can make it like this. You can sort of have this, it looks like this, but with a tail on top, like that. There's a bunch of different ways you can make an M. Hello, Luke Walker. Luke Walker, exclamation, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Exclamation point, O with an umlaut and an A with a dot. Oh, good. Where did you buy it from? Oh, thank you. Kansas City Low. Is it KS? No, Kansas. That's just Kansas Low. KS Low. Kansas City is something else. Would anyone like to join me to have your camera on this side and me over here? Give me my code. Okay. My code? I'll invite you. Okay, there's the link. Sign on there and I'll take a look. Click on that link. Anyone can do this. But if Luke wants me to show me something, I can take a look quickly now. So KS Low, what is your first name? Oh, here's Luke and the stream. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Peter.
Okay, I can't hear you, so let me
Hello.
turn up my volume so I can.
I finished this calligraphy.
Okay, nice. I can hear you a little bit, but and what are you using to write with? A pencil, it looks like.
The internet is not
I
very
can
good.
barely hear you.
Yes, can you see this?
I can see it, yes. It looks very lovely. You're very neat. I can
Yeah,
read
I'm just
every
a
word,
beginner.
which I can't read on my own work.
Okay, you see it?
I do see it, yes.
I'm going to leave now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. You're not accepting visitors. Okay, it was nice seeing Luke's work. Luke has very tidy handwriting, and I see that he was making some fancy swoopy swirls on his capital letters, which is really the only place you can put them. You can't really put fancy stuff in between the letters on the small letters because then you won't be able to read them. Sometimes on a lowercase t, or maybe if I there was, what's a word that has together? T O G. Pretend. Just ignore that for a minute. T H E R. Together. So on the T's, I can either do something like that, or I can do something like this. I can make that fancy because it's not going to get in the way of reading it. For a G, I could have it go up like this, together, or I could do this. T O G E T H E R. So I can have the last letter of the alphabet of the word go flying off and do fun things. I can have maybe a letter that goes below or goes above the X height be fancy. But the stuff that sort of has to be inside of this little tiny area right here where most of the letter is, those you really can't make fancy in the middle of a word. Otherwise, it's going to look awful. So you can be fancy on the front, and you can be fancy on the back, and you can sometimes be fancy down here, and sometimes be fancy up here. But most of the word you are writing has to be pretty boring. It has to be, if you make, okay, something's wrong with this pen. There's ink all over the place. Did I not fix it? That's the Schaefer. This is the one I just fixed. Now, sometimes, every once in a while, why isn't this even coming apart? Every once in a while, the sack will come undone. But I don't think that's the case here. I think I think this pen, just because of its design, is that if I shake it, it's easy for the ink to get on the inside of the cap. Why is this not coming out? I just fixed this pen. Am I using the wrong one? No. See, this I haven't fixed yet. Clearly, doesn't have a sack. This is the one that I fixed yesterday. And why is the ink getting all over me? So KS Low, are you still here? Kansas Low, or whatever your name is. I think what's happening is as I'm taking the cap off, this edge of the cap is hitting the top of the pen nib. And then when I put it back here, ink gets transferred. I think that might be the problem. But who knows? I really love this nib on this one though. This one is so fine. I think part of the problem too, for a good year and a half, I try to put the cap on a pen and I miss it completely. And I'm missing it because of my two eyeballs seeing different things. I recently bought this pen as well on eBay, and I got this specifically for a friend of mine that wanted a Sterling overlay pen, which I didn't have any to sell, and I bought this one to sell to him. And I may end up keeping it myself. Don't tell him. Don't tell him I bought it for him and I'm keeping it. No, I may sell this one, but it's really, really neat. But I do have others like this. As you see, I have this many. Now, some of these are they're not the same kettle of fish. This is a German silver, or fine silver they call it, not a sterling. So this is a very beautiful Art Nouveau pattern. So that's kind of early and somewhat special. This too, I think. This may not be. This may be. This is not a Waterman. This is something else. This is an off-brand pen, so it doesn't belong in that drawer at all. This is perhaps a blow pen because it has the hole in the back. So that doesn't belong there. Here is essentially the same pen, except this one has a clip. This has a flexible stub. Good for me. This one is the same pen with a clip. Oh no, this is a screw cap one. So this one is an eyedrop filled, but with a screw cap with a clip missing. And this is another one. So I have three that are identical, and I don't need three. I probably could sell one of them. I can't sell the one with a clip, but I might be able to sell one of these too. Maybe. But I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to sell some of these pens that I have collected for 40 years. Wow, this is a beautiful nib on this one. Need to keep that one. Hi. What was your first name? Where do I sell these guys? Here's another one. See, this has the wrong cap. This belongs on a different barrel. I sell them via this. Let's say one of you wanted this pen, and let's say I wanted to sell this pen. All you have to do is let me know, and I'll sell it to you. But it's not always easy. Getting me to sell them because, again, I like them so much. Okay, now see, here's the barrel and not the right cap. Here's another one. I've got a bunch of these damn things. And another one. And another one. Okay, so I don't need all of these. One of these I can sell. Some of them I can't. Some I can. I'll be right back. So KS, what is your first name? And I, what is your name? These are Watermans. So this one, this is a screw cap, which I have to keep. This is a slip cap, and this I think is a 4, I don't know, 15 maybe. Anyway, this one, not this one. This is a weird design. These go up here. This one and this one. And the one I just got. And this one. This is just a barrel without the cap. This one. This has a clip that's missing, but it's the same kind. These all are the same pattern and the same. This one here, this cap belongs on a different pen, but I don't have that different pen. So anyway, I've got, these are essentially all duplicates or quintuplicates. It's the same pattern. 3 have clips, 3 do not. And one is meant to have a clip, but it's missing. So I might be able to sell one of these. Well, if you break a pen nib, there are 2 choices. One is to build that time machine and go back in time and buy a brand new pen. The other one is, well, there's 3. You can fix a pen. You can see if you can fix it if it's broken. And the last one is to buy a an example of a old pen that's otherwise broken, and sometimes people are selling those just for the nib, or many times I will buy a pen just for the nib. Everything is broken except the nib looks good. I'll buy that pen, the whole pen, just to get the nib. I just want to see if there's any other that belong in this pile. Okay, lever fill. Oh, here's another one. Oh, this is the screw cap one. Lever, lever. Lever, lever, screw, lever, screw, and lever. Okay. Well, if you tried any of these vintage pen nibs out, you would be just amazed at how much, quote, better they are than modern pens. I think they're better. They may have a slight scratchy feel to them, but that's part of, they're supposed to have that. They're meant, especially the ones that are really, really fine. You can't help but have them be scratchy. That's part of what makes them function. You need a fine nib, fine point to make a fine line. I don't have a vintage Carine. They're way more modern than I collect. They're probably from the 70s, maybe. Most of my pens are from 1880 to 1945. And almost all my Watermans are from 1880 to 1945. Not all of them are fine. No, some can be broad. I just had one here that was very fat. I like fine, so many of the pens that are in my collection are going to be fine. There's one here that, like this pen here, is a flexible stub. So the finest line going down is fat. This going sideways is thinner, but it also can then be made very fat. KS is your first name? Well, capital K, capital S. You make it difficult for us, don't you? KS. No. And how do you even pronounce that? Cause so KS. How would I write your name? KS. KS. I don't have any Hero pens. They're again too modern for my taste. I just bought another one of these on eBay, I think. Forget. No, I bought another Sterling overlay. Oh, it doesn't have the right nib. It's a pen that I'll just show you. You can see how much I paid for it. If I can find it here. Shipped. Edrupt Fuller Sterling overlay. So here is the pen. Okay, where are you? I don't want to track the package. Oh, there we go. See original listing. So here's the pen I bought, which is the same pen that I've got here. These are the same, except this one has a different engraving on it, which I think is quite pretty. But it has the wrong nib. This is a number 3 Frank Fraser and Company, New York. This was originally on a dip pen nib, and someone turned the pen into a Franken pen. So that nib might be really, really nice, but chances are, well, no, it might be nice or it might not be nice. It might be broken. So in order for me to make it correct, I'll have to put a Waterman nib in it. So if I sell that pen, you know, I've got the price that I paid for it, plus the shipping and everything, plus the cost of a new nib. And then if I want to make money from my trouble, then I can add. Okay, you can't find on eBay, you can't find those. Well, if you were to buy a pen on eBay, I mean a Waterman Maria, I would probably, if you were right here right now with me, I would probably show you 4 or 5 different Waterman pens, and then in a minute and a half, I probably could be able to tell you what kind of nib you want, or what kind of nib might be good for you. You'd probably say something like, gee, this nib is too scratchy. Okay, then I'll find one that's broader than that. And you might say, oh, this nib is too broad. And then I'd say, okay, try this one. And then maybe the third one would be the one that you'd like the most. And then I'd have a sense of what you want. And then I might try to tweak it a little bit. Well, this is one just like that, except it's a little flexible. Or this one is just like that, except it's a little bit more stubby or more firm, or whatever characteristic I think you want. Often, you know, I'm pretty good at what I do, and I would listen to the customer. The customer would say, blah, 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 blah. And that would go in my little brain. And then I would hand them a pen. And they'd say, blah, 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 blah. And I would take that information and I would hand them another pen, and they'd say, perfect. And then they'd say, can I see that other pen and that other pen and that other pen and that other pen? And I would show them all these other pens, and they'd go back to buy the one I showed them the second time. Send me an email. All of you people, send me an email, and I can try to find one for you. And what I might do, a friend of mine on Facebook, name is Rick Kraus. What he does, and it works really well for him, and it works. It probably would be a way that I will do it eventually. Maybe I'd introduce it on here, on in, whatever this is called, YouTube, or I might do it on Facebook. So follow my Facebook because that's easy. Most people have Facebook and it's easy for me to post something and to update it. What I might do is I might show you 10 pens. And each pen I would show you how it would write. You know, this one writes like this, and it costs this much money. This one writes like this, and it costs this much money. And then when I get a dozen of them together, I'll put them up. People would send me an email or a text saying, I want this one, and that one's marked sold, and it goes away. Selling one pen at a time, I've done, but it takes a long, long time. But I'm happy to do it. So, but the first thing you have to do is email me, PierGustafsonStudio@gmail.com, or find me on Facebook, friend me on Facebook. Pierre Gustafson. I'm the only Pierre Gustafson in the entire world. You should be able to find me. Is it Pierre Gustafson from Dayton, Ohio? No. Is it Pierre Gustafson from Norway? No. It's Pierre Gustafson, the only one. There's only one. And it's me. So friend me, and that's maybe how I'll do it, because Kraus does a really, I mean, it's really an easy way. It's fair to everyone. You know, that way, if I know there's 6 people that want this pen, you know, for me to choose which is the one person that wants it is going to be hard for me, you know, because I'm going to piss 5 of you off if I pick one of you. But if I post it up there where all of you get to see it all at the same time and someone is first, they won't blame me, right? Yeah, see, a writing sample is good. What Rick does, he doesn't even show what the nib looks like, which is too bad. He says it's a fine point or a flexible point or something, but he doesn't show it. And sometimes I can tell what a nib is going to write like by looking at the nib. If it has a really long tine, I'll know it's better. Hey, Russell. I know it'll be, or I'm 90% sure it's going to be a certain kind of a nib. And I'm able to get more flex out of a pen than some other people might be willing to try. I know that this pen can easily make a line like that. Whereas if I hand this pen to you or you, you might be timid. You might not want to press down as hard as I do. So Rick Kraus, if he had this pen for sale, he might say that this is a medium flex rather than a full flex. So yeah, the order would be what it is. You know, if someone, you know, if I post it online and I say, send me a message, I mean, the easiest way to do it is to send a message. That's, I think, what Rick does. Except, you know, I have to have you on Messenger and I have to remember, but, you know, I should be able to see who messages me first. But an email is almost easiest because that way I can see it on all my devices. It's on my computer. I can print it out your address on a label. It's so, and I might ask people to do that. It adds one little tiny bit more of a hurdle, but that might be worth it for me. But I haven't done it yet because I really do enjoy actually selling a pen one-on-one. Russell, would you like to join me? Russell is a dear friend of mine who I met selling him a pen, and now we're best friends forever, aren't we, Russell? No, we're very good friends, I think. We met over pens, but we bonded over art, I think, and drawing, and also our sort of perverse sense of humor. Well, I know it takes time, you know. You have to be fast. I mean, let's say I have 10 pens for sale, and let's say 10 people want to buy the pens. Well, chances are someone might not want to pay $250 for this pen, you know, so you might be out of the running immediately because of the price. I might have a pen that has a clip that's missing, and that's going to turn a lot of people off because it has a missing clip. But it might have a really, really nice nib, and you might be the first in line for that. So, hello, Russell. Add to stream. Hello, young man.
Hello.
Oh, your voice is coming in correctly. You're not from
That's always good that it's not coming from the direction of hell.
Yes, the direction of hell. So, you had a good day?
Well, it's basically just getting started.
Okay.
I woke up. What?
Did you have a good day yesterday? I guess I was speaking of yesterday.
Oh.
Will is
Yeah,
here.
it was all right.
Okay. Say hi to Will. Will says hi.
Ciao,
to Will.
Will. Come stai?
Will sent me a care package. He was so tired of me bitching about not having any black ink. He sent me 6 bottles. So, Will, should I start bitching about my electric bill, and you can pay that for me?
I think this is a good strategy.
I like this. God,
if only it worked with congressmen.
Yes. So, for example, Maria, this pen is a beautiful Waterman from the 40s. Has a lovely nib that's somewhat flexible, just a little bit, but it's missing the little end of the barrel is broken. And this will turn off almost every pen collector in the world, except I'm not selling this to a pen collector. I'm selling it to a user, and the user would think that this nib is perfect. So, like Russell would not mind that this is missing its little plastic end, I bet.
Oh, no. I don't really, as you know, I do not care about terrible appearances as evidenced by my visage. Instead, I care about the utility of things.
Yeah. As long as you have,
Hmm?
as long as your visage has an orifice that you can shove pie down.
Yes, basically.
And breathe through and look through. You don't care what it looks like.
Yes, is there those are the questions I ask myself on like when considering whether to buy anything. Is there a hole to put pie in? and can I pass oxygen through it?
Yes.
If those two conditions are not met in some way, then that product is completely
on the shelf. Yes.
It stays on the shelf.
Can I fit a pie through this? If yes, I might buy it. If no, it goes back on the shelf.
Yes. Now, in some cases, it really takes some stretching or rather squishing
things to get a pie through sometimes is acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, like presumably one could fit a pie through a fountain pen, but it would take a lot of effort. But considering that it is possible, I would still buy that fountain pen.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, back to Maria just for a second. I do have some
Yes.
pens that I build and I create and I fix and I put a sack in and make sure work, that I know an artist who might be impoverished would love, but
I know the
doesn't
feeling.
have the money to pay for one that's in perfect shape. So that's the point. Okay, Matthew, someone just sent me a text. Maybe this is one of you people. No, it's someone says it's my happy birthday. Have a nice day. Hi, I don't know. Is this someone who's watching me?
Is it your birthday?
Someone just said hello, and I
Is
don't
it your
know.
birthday?
It isn't my birthday, no. But he did say happy birthday. The last time he texted me,
Okay,
it was
good.
happy birthday. Because you haven't finished my card yet. You haven't finished my present. Russell is
No, I haven't.
frozen.
I'm trying to shove the pie through it.
Okay, you have to fill it with a pie first. You have the money to pay for one in perfect shape. Okay, well, I may have one it
Did
may not be
you
in perfect shape, but I do
me
have
there?
some that are in very nice shape. If it's the right pen. Yeah. Where are you, Maria Tressart Saladisis? Where are you located in this world? Trizart Salacidis. It sounds Greek. I just want to see if this person is watching me live or not. I can't. I don't think Matthew is Maria. Oh, Niagara Falls, Canada. Oh, Russell, we have a song. She's
Oh, do we have to sing the song now?
Russell introduced me to this absolutely awful
It's
song
it's the
called
best
Niagara
song.
Falls. She was conceived in Greece and born. Well, see, the Greek part was there. I could see. It's a song. Let's see, Russell. Let me see if I get this right, Russell. Russell's sister was playing this record that she bought that included this song, I think. And the song, it was a record, I believe, that had New Age Christian songs in it as a collection.
So
And
it was a record called Songs in the Key of Z, and it was a collection of what we call outsider music, which basically is music
oh,
that was just produced by people, not corporations or artists who are not.
or people or people that actually had talent.
Yes.
That was part
I
of
mean,
it.
some of them do legitimately have talent and very
Okay.
creative ideas, but then there are some that do their best.
And the best that this guy could produce was a song about Niagara Falls and how essentially it is the place to go on your honeymoon, and presumably you that would be on your honeymoon would be a Christian straight couple who would eventually have children and raise them up in an environment, nurturing environment.
Grace. It's a very heteronormative song.
But worse than that, it's also this Christian dogma slathered and force-fed like that pie into every note of this song, that also it was like the Christian Evangelical and the Niagara Falls Tourist Corporation got together and came up with an infomercial for this.
Yes, it's a magnificent piece. It spurred me to almost to conversion, but then
But then
I was, you know,
then you used the one brain cell that wasn't traumatized by this song to regain your sensibilities throughout.
well, I learned that all of the moral tokens that I have are not convertible into whatever coin Saint Peter has. So there we
How
go.
is your name involved, Maria? Your name isn't involved. I just thought your name looked Greek. And when you said you were from Niagara Falls, it made me immediately think of this thing that Russell and I share, which is this horror and fascination with this awful song.
I mean,
Niagara Falls is the place to go on your honeymoon. Niagara
I
Falls.
is beside the American Falls.
Falls.
And the horse falls. What a magnificent, breathtaking sight. Niagara Falls. It's the place for your honeymoon. Yeah,
It's pretty bad.
I regret to say that I've forgotten quite a few of the lyrics, so I'll have to.
And the American Falls.
And the horseshoe fall. Oh yeah, you can.
The horseshoe falls. The horseshoe falls. That's right. And he says that with such sincerity, like, oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot the horseshoe falls.
Yes.
And then he talks about the gift shop.
Yes. Like you can. Oh, I can't even remember. It's he basically. We can find it. Let me move somewhere where I won't wake up my sister, because
no, I can find it. I'll find it here. It's Niagara Falls Christian.
Try songs in the key of Z, Niagara Falls.
Songs in the key of Z. Key of Z. Here we go.
Last time I did this video, we got to look at Loey together.
Yeah,
but now, thousands of
there's a
people
4-minute commercial. Oh.
It seems like just about every 2 or 3 streams this comes up.
Wedding day is coming, and you want to celebrate a happy union with the Lord above. What a thrill it is to know that Jesus stirred both of your hearts to bestow upon each other godly love. Niagara
Falls is the place
to go on your honeymoon. The bridal veil is beside the American Falls. And the horseshoe falls. What a magnificent, breathtaking sight. Niagara Falls is the place for your honeymoon. God told Noah he would never flood the world again. A rainbow ratified his promise sure. In the misty waterfalls, the rainbow shows its colored stripes. It the sightseers that are watchful will allure. Niagara Falls is the place to go on your honeymoon. The American Falls and the Horseshoe Falls. What a magnificent, breathtaking sight. Niagara Falls is the place for your honeymoon.
I wonder can he ever hit the right note?
Here's the bridge.
You can get on a boat called the Maid of the Mist from the American side or the Canadian side. You can take pictures and collect souvenirs that will bring back fond memories of your vacation. But most importantly, please ask yourselves, is this the beginning of a growing marriage? Where the husband submits to the Lord Jesus, and the wife submits to her husband, and the husband loves his wife, and the children be raised in an environment where they can grow in grace. Niagara Falls, the honeymooners' capital, is only a suggestion. Niagara
Falls is the place.
to go on your
Honey.
honeymoon.
Okay, we've heard enough.
I think they get the idea.
I think they do. Run away from Niagara Falls as fast as ever you can to avoid these environment of grace people.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll be humming that for the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It took a lot of imagination to get that thing across, I think, in a song. You know, to have the word environment in the middle of a song is not an easy task, I don't think.
It takes quite a bit of a stretch, I think, but he pulled it off.
I just wish he was able to hit one note that wasn't flat. Honeymoon. No, it's honeymoon. It's not honeymoon.
I mean, that's just a judgment based on, music theory. It doesn't count for anything.
It doesn't, Moon. Niagara Falls is the place.
I apologize, Maria. She's been traumatized, it seems.
It's hard not to be after that. Well, so Maria, you want a pen that looks nice, that's in nice shape, which I do have pens that don't, that look like this, except they have the little back end on them, for example, that would have a nice medium line, I think is what you wanted. Maria says she has a grade 7 Greek education, which I think corresponds to about the second year of graduate school in America.
I'd say so.
You'd say so?
Yeah, I think that in a contest of wits, I would be beaten by a 7th grade Greek.
Yes. I do have many Schaeffers for sale. Schaeffer pens generally have very stiff nibs. That's part of their shtick. But I do have Schaeffers. For example, here's one right here. lovely brown striped Schaefer with a feather touch nib, slightly flexible. Is there something wrong with this one? This might. No, it seems to be fine. I know there was one where the threading was a little iffy, but I think I just switched the caps. Sometimes by switching a cap, one will work nice. Here's a Schaefer. So yes, I have Schaefer. So send me an email, Maria, and I'll see what I can. Here's another Schaefer, basic black. Breathtaking sight.
Leonardo says hi.
Leonardo, oh, say hi back.
And you know, he was thinking of getting in touch with you at a certain point, just to
Okay.
chat. Maybe we'll might do that. Okay.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Here's a more modern Schaefer from the 60s, maybe. This is held a cartridge. Big, broad nib, though. I think I'm going to continue to do some work. Russell, maybe we can do some drawing later today, maybe if you want.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be meeting later on today, probably here in a few hours, with Leonardo's friend, who's actually he works for one of the cultural departments in Italy.
Okay.
But that's all I've got going on today. Otherwise, so yeah.
Okay. Well, let's try it, and maybe we can draw like we're doing now with an audience, or we can just draw by ourselves if you want. So, so Maria, you send me an email or find me on Facebook and send me a text, okay? And if you want my email, it's piergustafsonstudio@gmail.com. I'll spell that out for you. Pierre Gustafson, GUSTAFSON, studio @gmail.com. Yeah, we'll see you later, Will. Nice seeing you. Gmail.com. But again, an easy way to contact me is to do to find me on Facebook, and then just friend me there and send me a text. You like the more modern ones, okay? I don't have that many of the modern ones, but I do have some, and I'm happy to sell them if I can. It's just that most of them are going to be cartridge fill, which is fine. Nothing wrong with them, but they're way more modern than my normal pens I have. Bye, Russell.
Okay. See
ya.
you later.
Bye. Ciao. Bye, Maria.